everybody, and welcome back to 3 Points and a Touchdown. I am staying along with Julia and Roman, and today we will be doing the part 2 of the NFC Team MVPs. And I'm going to swing it over to Julia, who has the NFC South.
Saints and Buccaneers. I'm going to start here with the Saints. It was a tough competition between Drew Brees and Alvin Kamara through this entire season. However, once Drew Brees got hurt, it made it clear that the MVP for the Saints is Alvin Kamara here. He has played an extremely well game on offense for the Saints offense. The Saints have had a solid defense. You could probably say someone on the defense, but I think I'm going to go with Alvin Kamara here. I think he's had the best season, the best games here, catching receptions, getting receiving yards, scoring touchdowns from quarterback, either Drew Brees or Taysom Hill. I have to go here with Alvin Kamara for the Saints. Next, I'm going to go to the Buccaneers. A lot of people may think Tom Brady, but someone else. I'm thinking of Ronald Jones. I think Ronald Jones has had a better season than Tom Brady this year on that extremely scary Buccaneers offense. This is because if you've watched the way that Tom Brady has played, I personally think he hasn't played as well as he did back in New England. Because of that, I think Ronald Jones, because he's having his breakout year right now, he is playing a better game than Tom Brady is, even though Tom Brady has a more scary weapon area in Tampa Bay than he did in New England, but he clearly played better and is not playing to his potential like he played in New England, and he's playing slightly worse, not super bad, but not as well as he did in New England. So I have to go Ronald Jones here, just because Ronald Jones has played definitely better out of everybody on that team, and I have to say Ronald Jones here. Next, I'm going to go to the Panthers. DJ Moore has had off and on games. Teddy Bridgewater was hurt for a game. Mike Davis hasn't played all the games. He's played some, not all. He's gotten some snaps when he's there, but he hasn't gotten the same amount of snaps for all the games this season so far. And for that reason, I have to go with Robbie Anderson here. Robbie Anderson has been extremely well this year. He has been there for Teddy Bridgewater or whoever their quarterback is when Teddy Bridgewater is hurt. He has been there for receptions, receiving yards, touchdowns, anything you can think of. Panthers defense isn't very well known right now. They're still trying to rebuild that defense. There's no one really on that defense that can clearly beat Robbie Anderson right now, so that's why I have to go with Robbie Anderson for the Panthers. Next, I'm going to go with the Falcons. That's the final team in this division. A lot of people, there could be a couple different answers here, but Julio Jones has been hurt a couple games. Todd Gurley has been hurt a couple games. Calvin Ridley has been hurt for some games, but I have to pick him as the Falcons MVP for them. Yes, you could say Matt Ryan, but Matt Ryan has had a lot of worse games than Calvin Ridley has. Calvin Ridley can play a bad game, but that bad game is not as bad as some of Matt Ryan's bad game. Now, Matt Ryan might be going against some really good defenses, but he can't play a bad game and just blame it on like the others. For Ridley here, he has played extremely well this season, having a great year. Yes, was out with a foot injury for a little bit, but he's come back, recovered well, and is playing very well. Now I'm going to pass it over to Jaden for the NFC East.
Hold it there. I got a little bit of an argument to make with you. We're gonna go to the Falcons. Your statement. You said Calvin Ridley, correct, as your player. I'm gonna read you out these stats, and I completely agree with you here because Calvin Ridley has been trending upwards for a very long time. In 2018, he had 821 yards. 51 yards per game, 10 touchdowns. 2019, 866 yards, 66 yards a game, 7 touchdowns. Now, the season's not even over yet, and he's beating them in all his previous seasons insanely well in his stats. 905 yards, 82 82.3 yards per game and 7 touchdowns. If we pull up Matt Ryan's stats, yes, he's got 3,000 yards and throws for almost 300 yards a game and has a 91.5 QB rating, but he also only has 18 touchdowns. Those are what matter in this.
Which is why I picked Calvin Ridley.
Yep, totally agree with you there.
I also agree with all of your picks. You can make an argument for Teddy Bridgewater, but coming back to the starter role in Carolina, but I agree with all your picks. So now I'm going to start with the NFC East, and first I'm going to go with the division-leading Giants. I would say Blake Martinez. He's been the rock of this defense for the Giants so far this year. I feel like he may lead them to a division title with the rest of this defense and his veteranship and his winning mentality coming from Green Bay. Next, I have to go with the Washington football team and Montez Sweat. He helped this team beat the Steelers and the Cowboys back-to-back weeks with 2 interceptions towards the end of the game. One that sealed the game, both that sealed the game against 2 big wins for the football team, and really ending the Steelers' undefeated season. Now I have to go to the Philadelphia Eagles, and I have to say Travis Fulgham, the biggest breakout star so far this year, has to be my pick. Look, he's the best wide receiver, actually I could probably say receiver on that team right now, who's played this year. He stepped in for Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey. He's not as good as them, and I'm not saying that, but he has stepped into that role for the Eagles because when you think about it, their receiving core is depleted. No Zach Ertz, no Alshon Jeffrey, and no Deshaun Jackson. And also already lost Marquise Goodwin because he sat out this year. So, and then lastly, I have to go to the Dallas Cowboys, and I say the MVP for that team right now is Trevon Diggs. Trevon Diggs, 2 interceptions on the year, leads the team before Week 14 action. Also has 40 tackles on the year and 10 passes deflected, having a great rookie year for his value, 2nd-round pick. Nobody thought he was going to be this good on this bad of a defense. So those are my picks. Any arguments?
Yeah.
I definitely agree with all your picks. I like all of them personally. But Roman, anything to say?
Yeah, I've got a little bit of beef with you. But, I'm not gonna completely say, oh, yes, Brayden, you're 100% wrong. You are completely wrong, and Trevon Diggs is not good at all. But Trevon Diggs is good. I don't think he's the best player on this Cowboys team because, well, the Cowboys don't have a defense, and I can't really say that he's the best player on this team for the sole reason, not because he's good, which he is. He's pretty good, but it's also because he's the only bright spot on this team. With Blake Martinez, he is on pace for one of his best seasons yet. Last year he had 97 tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 pick. This year he has 63 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 pick. On a good Giants defense. He was what kind of helped them to beat Seattle.
Which is an extremely reasonable reason. Thank you everybody for watching this video on 3 points for the touchdown. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you turn your notifications on so you can always know when we have a new video out. Make sure to follow us on Instagram for updates on new videos. We will see you next time here on 3 points for the touchdown. I'm Julian Nolan along here with Jaden Harper and Roman Bostic. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.